Hi, welcome back to Holly Hobbies. Let me show you how to make a mini version of a patriotic ruffle ribbon wreath. We will create these ruffle bundles on a 10-inch wire wreath frame that will be a perfect addition to your RV or camper. So let's have some fun and get started and craft this beautiful American flag ruffle wreath together. Hi, welcome back to Holly Hobbies. Today we're going to be doing a smaller version of the American flag ruffle wreath. I did get a custom order and I thought we'd go ahead and just do it together. She wanted a smaller version for her RV, so I'm doing it on a 10-inch wire wreath frame instead of a 14, and I'm going to go ahead and scale down the ruffles as well. So for this project, I'm using 2 rolls of a red and a white, 1 roll of each, and this is a soft poly mesh. And we're also going to need some ribbon. We're going to need our blue star ribbon, and we also have this 1-inch ribbon with a red and white stripe, and then a 1/2 inch smaller ribbon. Okay, so we're going to need 3 of these for each bundle. We're also going to need some zip ties. I'm using the 7-inch zip ties. You'll need your wire cutters, and we will be using a wood burning tool for this project. And you will always have to put a piece of tempered glass down if you're using that wood burning tool. And I do have all the links of all my favorite crafting supplies listed in the description box of all my tutorials. And what we're going to do is we're going to be making these ruffle bundles that we're going to add to our wire wreath frame. And we're going to start cutting with our wood burning tool. And the wood burning tool is going to help seal those edges and help prevent the fraying. So I'm going to go ahead and place it curl side up. And I'm just going to measure out. The first cut we're going to do is we're going to cut into 12 inches. And I like to lay it curl side up so it lays flatter on the surface and it makes it easier to cut. So I'm just going to take it nice and slow with my wood burning tool, and I'm going to cut 1 12-inch, and I'm going to cut 1 10-inch of the red, 1 12-inch, 1 10-inch, and I'm just following that line that is on my cutting mat underneath the tempered glass so I can see the measuring line, and I'm cutting it nice and slow down the 10-inch mark. And now I'm going to take my white and I'm going to cut a 10-inch of the white. I'm not going to do the 12-inch of the white, only the 10. So one bundle, we have 10-inch red and white and a 12-inch red. And that's going to be how we do each bundle. So I have all my mesh cut for this first bundle. And we're going to do 1 red and white bundle to begin with. And for this, we're also going to need 2 pieces of ribbon of the 1-inch, and we're going to need 1 of the 1/2 inch. And we're going to be just focusing on the red and white bundles right now. And we're going to need our zip tie. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide this wreath into an imaginary quarter, okay? And I'll always use this crossbar as my guide as the top center here. And then halfway in between these 2 crossbars is going to be where this is divided, okay? So this is going to be a full quarter section right here from this point to here. So we're going to say this section is going to be for all white bundles. And we're going to place 3 of the white bundles in this section. But for right now, we're going to start working around this section, 3/4 of our wreath frame, and we're going to place the red and white ruffle bundles into this section. So we're going to start with the first one. We're going to place it on this crossbar and the number 2. And I'm just going to bring it right up like that and get it ready for, I'm gonna get my zip tie placed there. And we're gonna make our first bundle together. Actually, let's move this tempered glass a little bit. Okay, I'll just leave the tempered glass. I'm gonna place my zip tie, and now we're gonna get ready to make our first bundle that we're gonna place right on top of that zip tie. So I'm gonna use my Bodabra for this, and it just makes it a lot easier. You can use your ribbon maker of your choice. And I love my Bodabra. I use it all the time. It's a very simple bow maker, but I love it. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our first 12-inch. And we're gonna place it curl side up with the cut edge in front of us. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one side and we're just gonna fold it over just about a 1/2 inch or so. We're gonna start our curl. And then, okay, so we're gonna take our 12-inch piece and we're gonna lay it curl side up. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna flip it over this cut edge about a 1/2 inch or so. And then we're gonna use it, we're just gonna fold it up into this ruffle. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start grabbing. We're grabbing and we're creating a ruffle to the other side. And once we get closer to about 1 inch on this other side, we're gonna fold this other end down about a 1/2 inch as well with that cut edge is folded down. And then we're just gonna ruffle it right like that. So we have this end is folded in a 1/2 inch and then it's ruffled to the other end, and then we grab this other side and that end is folded a 1/2 inch. And I have this ruffle in my hand. And because of the way we did it with the curl side up, and now I'm just grabbing it, I'm trying to center it, making sure everything looks nice and centered in the middle where I grab it. Now, since we did it the curl side up, we're gonna flip it over. And you see how this side looks a little bigger than this side. So you're just gonna adjust it so it looks a little even for you. And now we're gonna take it and we're gonna put it in our Bodabra. And this is the 12-inch, and I'm just gonna place it right there in the Bodabra. And to me, that looks nice and center. We might be able to move this part a little bit more. There we go. So those look center. Those look center. That looks nice. I like the placement. So now we're gonna alternate the red and the white. We're gonna take, this is our 12-inch. Now we're taking the 10-inch pieces and we're gonna do that same exact thing. Curl side up, and we're just going to flip this little edge over, which gives us our starting point. And that just helps tuck this raw edge under. When we flip it over, everything's tucked nice and neat. So now we're just pinching and we're grabbing to the other side. And we're at this other side. We have about 1 inch, 1.5 inches. We're gonna flip that edge over the 1/2 inch like we did to begin with. And we're just going to gather that last little bunch with that edge flipped over. And since this is curl side up, we're gonna flip it over. And if you have any little pieces like that, you can just give it a little clip there. And it looks nice and even. Maybe I might go over a little bit this way. And I like the look of that. And now we're gonna place that bundle right very gently. You don't wanna handle this, you wanna handle this mesh as little as possible, because this particular mesh can fray, and that's why we're using the wood burner, and we're just using a lot of different things to help reduce that. And the less you handle it, the better. And so we're gonna go curl side up, and we're gonna flip it down over a 1/2 inch. And once again, you can even use your 2 hands if you want. And we're just ruffling it right down the middle, and we're flipping that edge over 1/2 inch. And we're just bringing that ruffle together with that edge, those edges flipped over a 1/2 inch. We're gonna flip it over, and we're alternating our red and our white. And now we have our second See that one? I want to pull over a little bit more. Sometimes you just takes a minute to kind of center it the way that you want. There we go. That looks good. I like that looks of that. So now we're going to take our ribbon, and I already have it cut into 10-inch strips, and I have the ends are dovetailed already. So we're going to take our first ribbon, and we're just going to pinch and grab in the center of the ribbon, and we're going to place that in our bow dabra, and we're just going to make an X, a crisscross, pinching in the middle, and I'm just placing my ribbon just like that in an X crisscross pattern. And now we're going to take this last small piece here, the 1/2 inch ribbon, and we're going to place that straight across. And this is going to be how we do our bundles, every bundle. The red and white ones, we're going to do exactly the same, and then we're going to do 3 all white bundles the same way as well, with a 12-inch and 2 10s, but we're going to use all white and different ribbons. So now we're going to place our first bundle, and I'm using the crossbar, this crossbar, and this number 2 bar. So we name them 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first one, we're just going to start it on that cross bar. And now we're going to take our bundle. I like to stand up for this part. And I'm going to take my bundle. And it's a very thick bundle. And you just want to very gently grab this bundle off of here. And you want to just hold it in the center right there. And you're just grabbing your bundle off your bow dabra. And I didn't really get a very good hold of it, but I'm saving it. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm just placing my bundle right on top of that zip tie. And I like to hold that ribbon in the center. Make sure that didn't come off. Okay. And I'm just holding everything in that center of that point of where all the ribbon came together. And my fingers just right there in the middle. It's kind of holding the whole, everything down. And I'm going to use my zip tie now, and we're going to place this first bundle, and you're going to make it nice and tight. And then we're going to use our wire cutters, careful not to cut any of that mesh. And we have just placed our very first bundle on our 10-inch wire wreath frame. So now you can just get your ribbon the way you want. And what I like to do is I take the top of the zip tie and I just roll it down to the bottom. You're not really going to see it once we start adding these on there, but it's one of those just in case type of scenarios. Okay, so we have our crisscross. And at this point, you can see how this one's a little bit longer with the ribbon, and you can just kind of adjust it like that inside to get inside that zip tie. It'll still move a little bit, and you get everything the way you want it. And let's see, this way, that way, and then we had this one went across. Okay, so that is our first little bundle that we placed there. So now we use that number 2 bar, and now we're going to be alternating between the number 2 and the number 3. So since we just used that crossbar and the number 2 for the first one, and we're not going to worry about the crossbars anymore. If we come up on a crossbar and we want to use it, fine, but at this point we're just alternating between the number 2 and the number 3, as we're going to just keep going down and alternating. So we're on the 2, so now I'm going to go to the number 3. And for this design, it generally it depends on what look you want. You could put as many of these ruffle bundles as you want to create the look that you're after, but it seems to take about 2 per section or so for the design that I'm doing right now. So now I'm going to the number 3 bar, and I'm just getting that zip tie ready, and we're going to go ahead and cut some more of our mesh. We're going to do another bundle together, and we're just going to keep repeating this process until we make it 3/4 of the way around with our red and white bundles. And I'm cutting my first 12-inch, and then I'll do the 10 while I'm here as well. And then I'm gonna get my white and we'll do another 10, and that is gonna complete another bundle. And this wood burner tool, it just makes life so fun and so easy, and it's just opened up so many different doors for different designs and using different mesh that I wouldn't be able to normally use because it would just unravel if I had scissors or cut it with a rotary cutter. And you can mesh and fuse different meshes together, and it just really opens up a lot, and I'm in love with it, and I use it all the time, and it definitely has been a game changer. So we're gonna do another bundle together, and I'm gonna do my 12-inch curl side up. I'm gonna fold it over a 1/2 inch, and I'm gonna pinch and grab right down that middle till I come to the other side, and I'm gonna fold that 1/2 inch over, and we'll just fold that over as well. And we just have this beautiful ruffle bundle and you see how easy that was, and we have it nice and centered the way we want it. And then we're gonna put that on our bow dabra, and that is always gonna be the 12-inch piece is gonna go at the bottom first. And I'll bring this over a little bit. Now's the time to get your bow centered, because if you get it on the wreath, you won't be able to, excuse me, you won't be able to center it. So get it the way you want when it's on your bow dabber. We're gonna pinch it over 1/2 inch, pinch and grab, 1/2 inch, and tuck it under, and you have your, flip it over, and now we have our 10-inch white ruffle, and we'll do that next step, and it goes really fast. Once you flip it over, once you have everything prepped and cut and ahead of time, everything goes really fast. All right, so we have our next 10-inch bundle, and you see how big these are getting. That's why it was, you have to be really careful when you grab it, because it can fall apart on you if you don't grab it just right coming off this, because it's really a big, thick, fluffy bundle here. So I'm taking my all my ribbon is finished, my 2-inch red and white striped, and my 1/2 inch down here in the middle. So I'm doing a crisscross with the other 2 and the smaller pieces going across. So now we're alternating the bars between the 2 and 3, and now I'm on the number 3. And you can just kind of fold that back a little bit to get it out of your way. And here I'm gonna grab this next bundle, and I'm gonna try to do this a lot better here this time. Okay, I'm gonna make sure you grab it right in the center, so you have a nice good hold on it. See, that's much better hold of it. And I'm going right around here in the middle with my zip tie. So we have the zip tie on that number 3 bar, and I'm just placing my bundle. That's all I'm doing, is just setting it right on top. I can even let go now if I want. And I have my zip tie, and I'm coming right in that center, and my finger is still holding that ribbon in the center. It's just holding that bundle down, because I'm gonna go ahead and I wanna get this secured on this wreath frame really good. You wanna get that zip tie nice and tight. And then you're gonna take your wire clippers, and we're gonna clip it as close to that zip tie as we can. And now I'm just gonna take this little nub of the zip tie, and I'm just gonna flip it under. And now we've placed our second one. This is on the number 2, and now we're on the number 3. And that one you can slide over however you want. And now we've created these beautiful little ruffle bundles, and we have 2 of them placed on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut some more. So this design requires 8 of the red and white bundles and 3 of the all white bundles. So I'm gonna finish prepping the rest of this deco mesh with the wood burning tool, and we're gonna get ready to attach some more bundles together. Get our zip tie ready, and for this last one we use the number 2, or we use the number 3, and now we're going to make sure we use the number 2 bar. So now it, like I said, it generally takes approximately 2 per section, but we're not worrying about the crossbars and all that anymore. We're just putting it on, alternating between the number 2 and the number 3. So now I'm going to the number 2 bar. I'm making sure my zip tie is the right direction and ready for my next bundle. And you can even start it over here because we could slide it down that way as well. And that just keeps it away from all that and easier to put on. So we'll just do that. And we're gonna get our next bundle ready. We're always making sure we're doing our 12 inches on the bottom. And we're gonna go ahead and flip it up. Let me turn my light on. There we go. We're gonna flip it curl side up, and we're going 1/2 inch over. And I'm just gonna take my 2 fingers and we're just gonna pinch and ruffle all straight down the middle, and we fold that other edge over and it just gets folded down like that. And that way it just, these little edges, by doing that 1/2 inch fold, those get kind of tucked in. So now we're going to add it onto our ribbon maker of our choice. I'm using my Bodabra. It's uneven like that. I don't like that. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm just going to pull that top part over a little bit because I just want this ruffle. See, it's still not quite, it means I didn't quite grab it in the center. There we go. That looks more centered. And there we go. See, that's how I like to gauge it, like that. And that looks nice and centered. I'm going to take my white, my 10 inches now. And I'm going to go, I'm just trying to be careful with my wood burning tool over here. I don't want it to touch any of my mesh. And curl side up, flipping it over 1/2 inch and pinching and grabbing, folding that 1/2 inch over and tucking that just like that. And it looks pretty centered to me. That doesn't, I'm gonna have to grab it a little bit more that way. And that looks centered. Now I'm gonna place my white ruffle bundle. And now we're gonna do, making sure I'm not grabbing a 12-inch piece. That one looked a little big. That's my 12-inch. And I grab the 10-inch, and we're going to do that same. And as you get closer to the end of the roll, it does get a lot more curlier, and we'll just start curling up on you. And we're going to go ahead, and this is exactly how we're just going to keep moving along with our bundles here. And we're going to do our crisscross of our 1-inch ribbon. And we're just pinching it in that middle part. And this one we can just lay straight across there, something on there. So we have our crisscross and our center. Then we have our big ruffle here that we're just going to grab. We're grabbing it, and we're trying to grab that center part of this big giant ruffle here. And then we're moving it right over, and we're placing it on our zip tie, and we want that zip tie to come right there in the center where our thumb is, holding all that ribbon in that center point. And I'm bringing my zip tie right up here through the center, and we've placed that bundle right on top of it. And I'm still holding that bundle, and I'm just trying to get that point right in that center of the bundle. And we're giving it a good tug, and we'll snip it. That one I could go a little bit closer. And I just like to turn that over a little bit. And you don't have to do that part, and you probably won't see it, but just in case. Now I'm gonna slide that over. And you're just getting everything, all the ruffles, so they're not just on top of each other. And this is my next bundle here. Okay, and that's why I say it's up to you how, if you want to spread them out more, that's totally up to you. Whatever look you're going for. You don't have to put as many in that I'm doing. Generally about 2 per section is what I'm going for. All right, so we use the number 2 bar on the last one. Now we're going to go to the number 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to get this all ready on that number. I'm not using the crossbar, but you could if you wanted to. And I'm going on this last one now. All right, actually I'm going to use the crossbar on this one because it's pretty close to the crossbar. Okay, so I'm using the crossbar and the number 2. I'm getting that ready, and I'm going to place that next bundle. So I'm just going to keep alternating between the number 2 and the number 3. And we're going to finish our 8 bundles, and that's going to leave us 3 a room for the quarter sections of the all white bundles. So let me go ahead and keep going with my my bundles here. All right, I just put the 8th red and white ribbon bundled ruffle riddle. So I just added the last of our ruffle ribbon bundle, our red and white. And now we are left with this little quarter section here. And that was our section that we had designated or all white. And then we're going to add our blue and white ribbon. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 full bundles out of the all white. I'm going to do 1 12-inch and 2 10, and I'm going to go ahead and get all of these cut. So for the last set, our 3 sets of white, we're going to take our 10-inch ribbon and our blue and white, our blue ribbon with white stars, and I'm going to go ahead and get this all dovetailed here. All right, we're getting to this last bundle here, and it's getting a little tight, but you just get that zip tie ready, and we're going to squeeze in this last white bundle here. And look at how fun this design is. I mean, come on, it's so easy, and you could see all the different possibilities. And this is a 4th of July one, but you can do this design in any color. It's a very basic, simple design, and you could do it for any season of the year. Switch up your colors, and it's just a lot of fun, and the look is really neat look with that ruffle. Just something, a different look than your curled bundle wreath, and it just, every design has a different look and a different character. And I'm doing this last bundle here that we're gonna attach. A ribbon. And we might end up adding a couple just star ribbon bundles on their own just to give it some more stars. But let me add this last one, and then we'll see what look it looks like. Okay, this last one you just have to squeeze in. It gets a little tight, but make sure you have a good grip on your bundle. And we're gonna just squeeze it right in here. Come on. There we go. There we go. All right, clip off that last little piece, zip tie, and we'll just twist that end over like we've been doing. Get your ribbon all fluffed out the way you want. And I definitely think we are gonna add, you wanna just get all this blue ribbon so it's coming up over that white right there. And you want that to look like your blue, all this with blue and white stars. So we are gonna add some more. I just wanna add a little bit more blue to this design. And we'll just make some single bundles. If you have any mesh that's doing this, just give it a clip. And we are going to be sealing it. I do like to seal all my wreaths at the end when I'm finished with a Mod Podge acrylic sealer, and that it's going to just help seal these edges even more and help the ribbon from fading, especially if you like to keep these outside. You can leave your design just like this, and look at how cute. And we just have one more little piece right there. There we go. All right, and look at how fun this design is. And this is a custom order. And this was my second one. This is my second one. So we have 2 of them here. And this is a custom order. She wanted a smaller version of my ruffle wreath for her RV windows. So I think it's gonna be a great size. These comes to a 20-inch in diameter instead of the 24-inch in diameter on the 14-inch frame. And these are done on the 10-inch frame. So I think what I'm gonna do, we're just gonna make a couple little more bundles of these blue. If you wanted to add any extra stars, you can make them come up a little bit higher. I would do 12 inches. We could do something like this. We'll do 2 12 inches. And we'll make sure we dovetail everything before we make our bundle. And you could just do a simple crisscross like that, or you could put it in your Bodabra, and you're just gonna pinch it, and you're just gonna do a crisscross like that. Make sure they're even. And we'll just take a chenille stem and we'll just put it right there in the middle. And you can make these little clusters here that you could add into any part of that white. I think what we'll do is we'll just go right in between these two right here. Let me come right in between the little sections. And we're just gonna add it right coming through the middle, but I wanna make sure I'm gonna be on each side of a wire wreath frame. And we're just gonna secure that. And we'll clip that off in a minute. But what that did, it just gave us a little extra blue that we can play around with and make sure all this white, and you can even turn it, and we made it a little bit taller so it can kind of come up and curl over this white. So you can add as many of those as you want, make that blue as nice as you want, but I think you could cover it. I might, let's see here. There we go. I think I really like that. There we go. Maybe I might add one more right here to kind of come over this part, but look at how pretty that design, that is up to you, how much of your blue and white star ribbon that you want to add to get the look that you're after. And I'm so happy that you came to my channel and that you crafted this mini ruffle ribbon wreath. I'm so happy that you came to my channel and that you crafted this mini American flag ruffle ribbon wreath with me. I'm so happy that you came to my channel and crafted this patriotic ruffle ribbon wreath with me today, and that you'll come back and craft with me some more. Please remember to subscribe, like, and follow me for more wreath and crafting ideas. Thanks for watching Holly Hobbies, from my heart to yours. I'm going to go ahead and add one more of these ribbon bundles, and I'm going to add it right next to that other one that we just added. I'm going to put it right in here. And that way it's going to cover up that one little section of white. So we added 2 of the 12-inch blue ribbon with the white stars, and I'm just going to finish off these edges here. And these I always twist to about 1/2 inch before I clip them, and I'll just twist those together. And that gave it just that extra blue that I was looking for to cover this little white section right here that wasn't covered. There we go. I like it. This ribbon, let's flip that one over. And all right, look at that. Look at how pretty that is. And look at that, we have just that little quarter section there that we did with our 3 white bundles. And we did the rest with 8 of our red and white bundles with the striped red and white striped ribbon. And I just think it turned out adorable. And this is a mini version, perfect for RVs, motorhomes, to show your patriotic love when you're on the road and camping. And I'm just so happy that you came to my channel and we crafted this order together, and I hope you come back and craft with me some more. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow me for more wreath and crafting ideas. Thanks for watching Holly Hobbies, from my heart to yours.